Kurzweil-Wallis test. The Kurzweil-Wallis test, also called one-way ANOVA on ranks or one-way non-parametric ANOVA test. As the name is indicating that this test is a non-parametric test, but it is used to measure the differences just like ANOVA in more than three or more groups. In the Kurzweil-Wallis test, we need dependent variable in ordinal or continuous data. The assumptions of the Kurzweil-Wallis are similar like other non-parametric tests. For example, Wilcoxon-Mann-Whitney test, that samples should be randomly assigned, they should be independent, samples should be independent, and measurement scale should be ordinal, at least one variable data in ordinal or rank order. Now at this point I want to make clear what are continuous variables and what are discrete variables, because these terms will be used again and again. Continuous variables are infinite values. For example, height, weight, age, time. These are the examples of continuous variables, or any value between its minimum and its maximum value are examples of continuous variables. Age is a continuous variable. If we say, for example, that a person's age is mentioned as a continuous variable, then it can be said that person age is 24 years, 8 months, 3 weeks, 23 days, 7 hours, 34 seconds, 11 nanosecond, 2 picosecond, and so on. So it is an example of continuous variable. That continuous variable is infinite, and it here the fraction of the digits also added. Discrete variables, they are finite. Age can be made discrete if we say that age in months only, or we are taking age in years only, as we do in our samples when we take for the research. So sometimes we specify the age, that we are taking the age group of individuals from 18 to 24. Sometimes we take our age of the sample limited to 50 to 60 years. So according to the problem, we set the limit of the age. So it is an example of discrete variable. Now, again on Kurzweil-Wallis test, the value of the Kurzweil-Wallis approximate at chi-square distribution with k minus 1 degrees of freedom, and observation should be 5 or more in numbers per group. If the calculated value of Kurzweil-Wallis is less than the critical chi-square value, then the null hypothesis will be accepted. If calculated value of Kurzweil-Wallis test is greater than the critical chi-square value, then we can reject the null hypothesis, and we will conclude that samples are different from each other. Now it is important to know that what I am saying here, that the value of the calculated value of the Kurzweil-Wallis test will be observed in the table of chi-square value test to look at the level of significance of its to accept null hypothesis or reject the null hypothesis. Assumptions are same as for the Mann-Whitney and uh, Wilcoxon, that samples drawn from the population are random, observations are independent, and at least one variable should be ordinal or in rank order data. Now here it is an example we have. I have put some data and we will calculate Kurzweil-Wallace test, that how it can be done manually. Above written, it is the formula of the Kurzweil-Wallace test. H is the symbol of Kurzweil-Wallace test. Formula 12 divided by n, bracket n plus 1. Here it is sigma. Sigma means sum of. N means total number of observations or cases or set of scores. R is rank. It is indicating number of groups. If we have 3 groups, then I would be 3. If we have 4 groups, then I would be 4, and so on. Again, Ni is clear to you now. Now 3, n plus 1. Here I also given the explanation of the symbols in the above formula to make it easy for you. Now sample. First you look at the sample, that we have 3 samples. Sample 1, and it has 6 values, 6 observations or 6 set of scores: 8.2, 10.3, 9.1, 12.6, 11.4 and 13.2. Then we have second set of data. Again it has 6 values: 10.2, 9.1, 13.9, 14.5, 9.1, 16.4. And we have a third set of data with again 6 set of observations. So initially we have these set of scores: 1, then 2 and then 3. These are indicating ranks. We have to convert our observations into the ranks. And in the Kurzweil-Wallace test, ranks will be assigned from lower to higher value. But for assigning the ranks, we have to assign ranks to all the group at one time. That we will gather all the values, all the observations or the set of data, and then we will assign them ranks in ascending order. So here, when you look at this value, I have put all the scores 8 point, which we have previously in the 3 samples. I put all these scores: 8.2, 8.4, 9.1, 9.1, 9.1. I have put all 18 scores in order, in ascending order. 8.2 was the lowest, then 8.4 value was there, then 9.1 was there, greater than 9.1 was 9.6, then 10.2, and so on. We reached to the last value, that was 17.4. So we have gathered all 3 set of data, and then we assign ranks from 1 to whatever the scores we have. Here we have to assign ranks from 1 to 18 because we have 18 number of observations or 18 set of scores. So 8.2 was the lowest, rank 1 is assigned to it. Greater than 8.2 is 8.4, so rank 2 is assigned to it. 9.1 came in our data 3 times, 9.1, 9.1. So we, any value, if how many times it appears in the data, we will write it here, and then we will assign them ranks. But the main thing is this, that to the same values, to the same scores, different ranks cannot be assigned. What we have to do, that to calculate the rank of the similar values of 9.1, we will add their rank values, that what they are getting in this set of data, 3, 4 and 5. So we have to add these three rank numbers divided by 3 because they are present 3 times. So total number came out 12 divided by 3. Answer is 4. So the rank assigned to 9.1 should be 4, not separately 3, 4 and 5. Here it will be clear to you that it is sample 1, group 8.2, 10.3, 9.1, and in this sample ranks are assigned and they are written before the values of the first group. 8.2 was the lowest, so assigned rank 1, 10.3 assigned rank 8, 9.1 assigned rank 4, 12.6 assigned rank 10, and similarly sample number 2, here you can also look for the 9.1. Okay, rank 4 is given, how many times it is present here, and similarly to the sample 3, ranks were assigned. Then next level we will calculate the rank number or rank values for each group. The total of R1 ranks for the first group, the total value is 43, because we have to put these total values here. What it is written? Sigma sum of rank of each group, I is the group, divided by number of sample in each group. So for this place we need sum of the ranks of each group separately. That's why when we add these values, the sum would be 43. Similarly, add the rank values of the second group and we get the total R square. R2 is 61, and then when we add the rank values of the third group, we get the answer, that is 67. I hope it is clear to you that first we will calculate the rank. We will assign the rank from lowest to highest to all the set of scores, and then we put rank numbers beside the data of each group separately. Now we have to put now values in this formula. 12 is constant, 18 n is 18. How we calculated it? We have three groups and each group has 6 set of observation. So 6 into 3 is equal to 18. That's why n is 18, n plus 1, 18 plus 1, sigma total sum of the groups which we are using in this problem. So here for the first group 43 total came, as I explained you earlier, that the total rank score was 43 for the first group. Total rank score was 61 for the second group. Total rank score for the third group was 67. So we put these values here, 43 square for this value divided by number of observation of first group. There were 6. So that's why we write here 6. Then 61 second group Ri, and again this 6 indicating number of observation of second group, and then 67 the third group rank total, and number of observations were 6. Then minus 3, 18 plus 1. So minus 3, 18 plus 1. Now simplify these values. First of all, add these numbers is 19. Then we square 43. Answer will 43 multiplied by 43. Answer would be 1849. 61 multiplied by 61. Answer was 3721. You can check these values on your calculators. 67 square means 67 multiplied by 67, and we get these answers. Then what we have to do, we have to divide these values with the 6. Number of observations in each group. After dividing these numbers, we get the resultant 308.16 plus, after dividing these values, 620.16, and for this value we will get 748.16. 3 multiplied by 19, we get the answer 57, and here 18 multiplied by 19 is equal to 342. Now divide the both values and we get the answer 0.035. It is the symbol of multiplication because we are now opening the bracket after adding these three values. When these three values added, answer came 1676.48 minus 57. Minus 57. First of all, we will simplify the multiplication sign. Multiply 0.035 by 1676.48. The answer came out 58.676 minus 57. So answer came 1.67. So that is the result of the problem. Now what we have to do, that we have to go to the tables of chi-square, and we will look at that under the value of level of significance of 0.05, which value is written there, which will be called critical value. So I observed the table. I have provided you these tables, so you can open them and search the value, and now you know the DF, that is 2. So the value you will found in the table would be 5.99 at 0.05 level with degree of freedom 2. Now the critical value is higher than the calculated value. Now what does it mean? What we concluded? It will be concluded that calculated value is less than critical value at 0.05. So null hypothesis cannot be rejected. It shows there are no differences exist in the groups. ग्रुप्स में differences मौजूद नहीं हैं because our calculated value is not indicating significant differences. The value 1.67 is very less than the critical value at level 0.05, that is 5.99. So in this way we will solve the problem manually and we will describe our results clearly. Now I hope that you have understand very well that what to do and how to solve this problem. I have also sent some data on the WhatsApp group. You can use that data to have more practice, and if any queries you have, so you can ask. Thank you.